It's Wednesday. It is about, I think, 1 o'clock, somewhere in that area.
Yep.
And we're doing a live from the living room, but it's a brief one, right?
It is a brief one, and it is a special edition. Lately, we've just been coming to you every other week and making them a little bit longer. But something happened this week that we wanted to make sure we touch base with you.
Which is important. We got to get that out there.
Yeah, so, we were going to have the outdoor mass at here at Holy Rosary this last Saturday. And I got up, at, I don't know what time I got up, 7:30 or something. And I look out the window and I see that it's just starting to rain at 7:30. And I thought, I'll look at the weather map, and it was hoping to break around, 2 or 3. I thought, well, maybe we can get our mass in. Dennis, I don't think it broke until about 6, 7 that night.
No, and I was up in the morning, and I was actually working in my garage doing the insulating, and that's when I said, I wonder if I should give you a call or shoot you a text, and lo and behold, he was quicker on a draw than I was, and thankfully.
Yeah, so, it really wasn't that hard of a decision. I think late morning, I took a look at the weather map. At that point, it said rain all afternoon. I talked with Father John, and his famous line was, "We live in an imperfect world." And we do. And so we felt it was best to postpone the outdoor mass. And I looked at the long-term schedule, and what the app told me was this Saturday was going to be about 70 degrees. Now I look at it today. I'm going to look at it right now. This is scintillating video for you, I'm sure. But as I'm looking at it right now, Saturday looks to be a high of 67 and nothing but sunshine. That's what my app says. You can look yourself. And so, you know what? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, we're going to try this again. And so this Saturday, October 10th, 4 o'clock Mass, out here at Holy Rosary in the back parking lot on the east side of the building. We're going to rope off again about half of it. Feel free to come early, whatever you want. You can even drive up and park by the ropes if you want and just stay in your car. But bring chairs, bring a blanket. We've got grassy area. We've got parking lot spread out. We don't have sound equipment yet, but pray for that too. And I've got 72 hours to figure that out. But we got a priest. So we're good there. And we got sunshine, we hope. But yeah, and again, you heard me say it last week, the prime reason for this, Dennis, and correct me if I'm wrong, is there are a lot of people who haven't come back for the Eucharist yet.
Yes.
Because they're afraid that being in a confined area, that air, which is airborne, the virus, it can be shared, and they don't want to do that. And so we want to make sure Eucharist is available for anybody who has not had it in a long time. And we thought this could be a good way. So bring not only yourself, your family, your spouses, bring your friends, bring anybody who hasn't received in a long time. We hope to have plenty of room out here at a distance yourself.
I got a call. I was here yesterday morning at Holy Rosary office, and I got a call from someone asking that very question. We are moving it, and he had asked, why are we having the Mass? I said, because what you just explained. For some reason, whatever that reason may be, is immaterial. They feel uncomfortable, do not want to, whatever that is, to come into a confined area for the Mass. Yeah. We want to welcome people, what all stripes, whatever they want to do, to come for the Eucharist, to gather around the altar with their sisters and brothers, and to see them, worship with them, and receive the Eucharist together. And that's the only reason, the prime reason, so that they feel safe. And then perhaps through that effort, through that journey inward, they might find it a little bit of strength to return and come back regularly, or is a little bit be less impeded or less inhibited to come back to Mass. That's what I explained to him.
That's it. That's the whole deal. So again, that was the reason for this emergency session of this Live from the Living Room. Outdoor Mass postponed from last Saturday in the rain and the grayness and the cold to 67 and sunny. You're going to feel like you're in San Diego. Come on. This is good news.
Exactly.
Without the wildfires.
And don't bring the cocktails. We'll just bring yourselves.
Well, bring them later. You know,
Yes.
maybe we'll have a happy hour afterward.
That could be, sure.
Why not?
Yes, yeah, why not? Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
Jesus fed the people.
We could certainly do that, yeah. One more thing.
Yeah, two other things we want to talk about on this emergency.
We're going to
brief
compress
session.
this compared to the other ones. If my watch and my conversation are proved to be accurate with our good friend Brian Bartle,
Yep.
we will be here tomorrow morning at Holy Rosary to install equipment so that we can stream the Mass. I'm excited about that. We've been anticipating this for quite some time.
So streaming the Mass starting when?
I'm, by the grace of God, knocking on wood, this upcoming weekend, this coming Saturday,
Yeah.
we could use help with that.
Yeah.
My brother has volunteered to be one that would record the Mass, but we could use help with that. And you know, maybe perhaps every 6 weeks, once we get St. Anne into play, so Holy Rosary, St. Anne, and St. Peter and Paul, 1 week here, 1 week there, 1 week there. So if we have 2 people each one, every 6 weeks to record the Mass, and it would go to everybody that can see it at the nursing home, assisted living, or whomever is not coming to the weekday. So please give me a call, give Joe a call Sue, call Kim, Laura, and please be part of that. We really appreciate it.
So knock on cloth. It may be the Mass this weekend may be from Holy Rosary instead of Peter and Paul.
Yes.
Point number one. Point number two, Dennis's brother will record
Yes.
at Holy Rosary, but we need one other person to learn it, and this weekend to be as good a time as any.
Yes.
Because once we learn it, then every 6 weeks they would do it, because your brother would take every third, and then they would take every.
Exactly. And they probably have to relearn it, because you do it once, you may have to do it again a second or third time to get up to speed how to do this streaming. It took Joe a little bit. I showed him how to do it.
Yeah, I screwed it up like 2 times. It's not that hard. It was operator error.
So it's we just get a little train that person. So and it'll be new for me here as well because of new equipment. But
A seal can be trained. I mean, some seals are harder than others.
But it'll work. And by the grace of God, by this weekend we will be streaming the Mass from Holy Rosary, which I pray to God I'm excited about. Yeah.
Last thing, and I promise we'll let you off early, and thanks for coming along, by the way, is a decision I made yesterday. Somebody threw this idea past me. I can't take credit for it. But they talked about how our country, and we all know this, we all realize it, just seems separate right now, separated from each other. I mean, we're at odds politically and economically and racially, and even beyond that, we're physically distant, we're emotionally distant. It's just, in our separateness, we're not made to be separate.
No.
We're made to be social beings and communal and in community, and we're feeling very ostracized and not united. And so what I am going to do, what I plan to do, and I'm not sure I have it mapped out entirely in my head how, but I got the when and the where. On Thursday, October 22nd, so that's 2 weeks from tomorrow, Thursday, October 22nd, which is the feast of John Paul, St. John Paul II, we are going to have a holy hour for unity in our country from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at St. Peter and Paul in Kiel, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So if you are picking your kids up from school, bring them over for 15 minutes of prayer. If you are at work and getting off at 5, come by for prayer for a little bit of time. People don't have to, they can come and go during that time, but we just have to be united, because it's got to be God who brings us together at this point, because right now we just need the presence of the Spirit to unite us, and that's what the Spirit does. The Spirit is that in the Trinity, that uniting force there. And so let's use the Spirit's unity and invite God's assistance that we can be united at this time as a country. We're going to pray the Rosary at various intervals throughout there. Don't know when yet. We're going to have the Eucharist exposed during this time. And just allow people to pray for unity within our country at this time, regardless of what happens in November, regardless of anything. We just got to be together and remember we're one.
Reflect that light that we are. Reflect the one that we are with each other, because we are one. And that unity, that oneness of who we are, to allow that to breathe life into us. But then hopefully, prayerfully, we take that what we receive out.
Yeah.
And that's the purpose. And so I'm excited. Thank you for doing that, Joe. And if it's just a couple of minutes, just to say, I remember a friend of mine and I, we'd go into church before we went for a walk. We went to North Dakota. We'd go for a ride. He said, hold it, we got to go to church. We got to go say hello and goodbye to Jesus. So go in there and just say, hello, Jesus. Thank you. Quick prayer. God, thank you so much. And we'll see you again. Thank you. It's simple as that. Or do a rosary. But open yourself up to that person of Christ.
John's gospel, but virtually the last prayer Jesus gave before he said yes and went to the garden, in the garden in which he said yes. He said, I pray that they may be one as you, Father, and I are one. We're experiencing life in a world right now that is not one. The only way that we can be one with each other, with God, with ourselves, is through the Holy Spirit. Take time. What Dennis said is right. Whether it's a minute or an hour, come by and offer that prayer for unity, for that oneness that the Trinity experiences for us as a people, as a church, as a country, as a world at this time, because we need it.
Yes, yes.
That's all I got. Brief version today.
Yeah, brief, very brief. Thank you. God bless everybody out there, and we'll see you next week sometime. Joe and I'll put this together.
A little bit longer, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll be a little bit more long-winded than we are today.
That's right.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.